Hi, I'm Cindy Hooker, and thanks for being here for the informational webinar on solopreneur productivity and action group that's going to be starting on September 16th. So welcome. I'm Cindy Hooker. I'm a certified leadership coach, a Plan, Do, Track facilitator, a personal goal specialist, and leadership development facilitator. So what brought you here today? I will tell you that most of the people I talk to who are entrepreneurs and solopreneurs are trying to dig out of the chaos and the distractions to really move their products, programs, and services forward. And we're going to talk a little bit about the business development cycle in just a minute. But Teresa, do you want to share what brought you here today?
Well, what brought me here is with most creatives and solopreneurs, we have a million things we want to do, and that tends to get us tied up to where nothing gets done, like following through, except for what has to be done. So I'd really like to have some focus and accountability for that focus, something that I'm touching base on that will help me bring it across the finish line.
Yes, from act to So actually, yeah, we're going to talk about that because I think that's really important, is having that accountability and being able to do those iterations with that support that you can get. So thank you.
Yeah.
So here's the business development cycle, and starts with creating and refining that vision. What is it I want to do? What program, product, service do I want to provide? And creating an action plan. And this is probably where one of my gaps is creating an action plan. Seeking out support, taking those ongoing small steps. And I think Teresa was just talking about that. We, as a lot of creative entrepreneurs, there's like so many, and you can't go so broad that you can't get anything done. You have to take kind of like those narrow specific steps. And then test, retest, learn, and iterate. And again, this is where I tend to give up, I will, if it doesn't go right the first time, I'm just like, oh, the heck with it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I take that as a rejection. and then I move on to something else when really it just needs like maybe a little tweak or something. What about you, Teresa? Where's your gaps in this business development cycle?
Well, I can totally relate to what you're saying about if something doesn't come out and a million people didn't sign up for it, and I met with the huge applause, that it's like, oh, well, maybe that's wrong, and so I'll jump the ship. Instead of having, I don't have that I would love to have that community, that small, refined community that's tracking with me, that could help point things out and say, no, actually that sounds really good. I think you just need to stick with it. I think that would be super, super helpful. But I think where I get stuck is squirrel. I have squirrel syndrome. Squirrel. And something strikes me, inspiration strikes me, and then I start working on that and forget about this other amazing thing that I was doing. And so I have a lot of plates swirling, and they're still swirling. Nothing's crashed yet.
Right.
But I'm getting tired.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you have a lot of really, really good content, probably. It's just like amazing content, and just tapping into what you already have and focusing on that and then moving forward. And I get it, yeah. And I know that you probably do have that amazing stuff. All your plates have amazing stuff on them.
They do. I do. I think so. So myself.
Well, this is kind of the motto, the concept of Plan, Do, Track. It's daily steps plus consistent action equals momentum. And I don't think it was conceived in Plan, Do, Track, but there's this saying that, 1% a day, that's all you need to do is 1% a day to move yourself forward. And sometimes that's all it takes to get us over that hump. So this is the workbook and planner that we'll be using. It's not Now the whole thing won't be relevant to everyone, but it does have a planning piece in back. It comes with the group that we're going to do. You are welcome to use it as much or as little as you want, but it is a resource for you, right? It's got tools in it, it's got resources in it, and it is a workbook, so it will be handy for some. And I want to talk about that for just a second. This is going to be a really small group, 4 to 6 people, because we really want to dig in deep and give everybody an opportunity to get the accountability and support that they need. Having said that, everybody's in a different place. They all need something different. This is not a marketing group. It's not about us, offering marketing. It's not a, business think tank. What it is an accountability and support. It's moving us forward in that business development cycle. It's not about nurturing, but there might be a point where somebody needs kind of some ideas on some self-care. Maybe they're like Teresa, who's got tons of plates in the air, and maybe she just needs to take that break or not. But we're going to be supporting each other, and I just wanted to really kind of hone in on what the focus of the group was. Any questions, Teresa?
I don't have any questions. I do really want to I love the idea that it's very specific focused, that it's really about getting it done, taking it across the finish line, completing it, so we can serve our communities the best. I mean, I'm not serving as well as I could be with all my plates in the air. So right. I really want that space where I show up and I'm expected to, and not that anybody's going to call me out on it, but I know me, and I know that if I say I'm going to do something and I'm going to bring it to the group, I'm going to have that done.
Right.
And so I know that, and I just want to have that reminder of the community needs what you're offering, and so please get it done. And that's what attracts me about this, that it's not the fluffy, warm, fuzzy necessarily. It doesn't mean that we can't be kind to each other. I will be, I promise. But it does mean that we're going to, we're tracking our progress to implement programs or writings or projects that will serve our communities.
Right, right.
That's attractive to me, Cindy. It's simple,
right.
It's straightforward, and I'm digging it.
Well, I love how you say that too. I mean, we all have this thing that we offer our communities, and they love it, and we're kind of denying them by not getting this stuff done that we want to do. And the thing that attracts me to this, because I've been an entrepreneur for 6 years, but I've worked in corporate and nonprofit, and if I didn't get my projects done, I got in trouble, right? right? And so for me, this is really just a project management group. We are going to manage our own projects. Now, we're not on the same project, but we're managing our projects and we're moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. It's like getting these projects done and being a good project manager, moving through it. So thanks for adding that, Teresa. Plan to Track was written by Jennifer Britton, and Jennifer is, for me, she's one of the she's one of the best coaches I know, highest integrity. She has published 5 publications, and she's worked at the United Nations. She has quite I want to say esteemed background, and I really respect Jennifer and appreciate the work she has put into to make coaches better and to help them build their businesses. And not everyone here, I realize, is a coach. That's kind of where she comes from, but she also works with a lot of corporate leaders as well. So the first thing we do in this 12-week commitment is we plan. So we call it a sprint, a 12-week sprint. We spend our first meeting working on that plan, right? What do you want to accomplish in the 12 weeks? So it has to be something we can achieve in that 12 weeks, right? The second thing is that we're doing. So in between the planning, and after the first of the 12 weeks and the last of the 12 weeks, we're having 2 meetings a month to get that momentum, remove the roadblocks, get the accountability, and helping each other get things done. So we're doing, right?
Can I ask a question right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes where I get stuck also is in the chunking it down.
Right.
So I'm wondering if during these, and if it's not, if that's not part of your plan, please say so, but I'm just curious if you've given thought to, will that be a supportive element to where people could help us where our weaker spots are? Is that an intention of our group?
Right. Yes. So I agree. Right. I have this huge plan that I want to create this remote, program, but it's huge. So what can I accomplish in 12 weeks? Can I actually do all of the content and get everything done in the 12 weeks and serve my clients and serve my family and everything else that you're doing? Maybe not. I think that's for the group to say, Teresa, is that realistic for you to get that done in that 12 weeks? What piece of that?
But also, like what could help me to chunk it down? Like if I want to do an online course, in my mind, it seems simple. All I have to do is da, 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 da. But I forget all the middle parts, and the gravy, if you will.
Right.
And
right.
So if I think I would benefit by, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't do this if it's not there, because I know that I have an awareness around it, but to help me fill in those, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And this will need to happen before that can happen. And those kind of pieces. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, I love the idea of like asking about the gaps, right? But also asking like, for you, have you done an online class before? What were all the steps involved that you had to do? And is there a way to document that so next time you have like your checkoff list?
Yeah.
Right? Is that helpful? I don't know, but I'm just thinking of, we're getting into like this group thing. What you're asking is exactly what I would envision the group would do.
All right. That's all I was really wanting to know is if I had an idea, if I needed that support specifically for that, could I find that in this group?
Right. You can. And of course you'll come to the call and obviously needing to be clear on what it is you need. Right? Here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to be. What do I need to think through in order to get here?
Right.
Yeah.
And I would love the group collective on, what are those steps that I'm not thinking about, because to me, I should just be able to get it done.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Blink my eyes like I dream a genie.
Right. Yeah, if only, right? Yes. Good. Yes. Good question.
Thank you for that.
Yes. And then at the end, we just do a brief tracking, a retrospective, right? What worked? What didn't? Are we making iterations? What are we letting go of that's not working, right? And because I think it's really good to see, where did I spin my wheels, right? You said you were swirling. Where was I swirling at over this last 12 weeks? Right?
Exactly.
I don't want to do.
What's that stopping spot? Why did you stop there? You were progressing and all of a sudden a stop. Why was the stop? What was going on there? And that could be something as simple as I couldn't figure out what my next step was.
Right.
I got stuck because I'm not so comfortable with that aspect of online development.
Yep. Yeah. So I think that's really important to do that kind of deconstruction after a project. And the project may not be done, but you may be at the 12-week point, we'll be at a break point, right? Understanding that not all projects can get done in 12 weeks. All right, so what's next for you? There was some debate on really who said this quote, but I don't think it was Einstein. Now they're saying it wasn't Einstein, but doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I certainly do that and have done it. And, this group is just as much for me as it is for you. And it's like Teresa was saying, it's serving people. And I really want to serve people with giving them something that is, I want to say kind of simple and basic and just moving them forward. So here are the details. Our first meeting is September 16th. We'll create our quarterly plan. We'll have our 3 months of, of sprints, 2 monthly meetings, 1 month end retro every month, and then a larger one at the end of 12 weeks. You'll receive the workbook. I will send productivity hacks to you, monthly topics to potentially help you with your business. And again, it's up to the group to, they'll maybe trends that come out that we can find things that might be really helpful for them. The investment is $249 for the 12-week sprint, or $90 a month. And if you're not a fan of groups, you really just want to work one-on-one, we could do a 90-minute strategy for $99, and we'll take that strategy over that 90 days or 12 weeks. So any questions, Teresa?
No, I'm excited.
Yay!
I think because I have a lot, and just think about it. That's like taking us up to the new year, into the new year, to where you could have the most banging new year start ever.
Right? That's what my hope is, right?
Yeah, I like that it carries you all the way through the holidays, so you stay plugged in. A lot of us solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, we unplug, we slow down, and then when the new year comes, it's like slogging. And that's one thing. I've never done that, but I see a lot of people do it. I've ran a lot of these types of groups, and it's the most challenging to get right back into the groove. And this way, we're carrying momentum all the way into the new year, and I think that's freaking fabulous.
Right. And the thing I like about it too is if people want to go on and do another sprint, another 12-week sprint, they're all set up and ready to do it.
Yep.
Right. Well, thank you, Teresa. It has been a pleasure having you here today with me. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Cindy at golddogconsulting.com. I'm on Facebook at Gold Dog Coach, and I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.